Hi guys! So it has been a few weeks now since Oceana tagged me in her 20 questions book tag. Since then I have seen that Celestria has also posted that tag and I really want to watch both of their videos, but I wanted to do my response video first so that I didn't have time to prepare answers to any of these questions. So I've never looked at these questions. I do not know what's coming. Let's just jump in. Question number 1. How many books is too many books in a series? Anything past 5. I think 5 is the max that I like. I know there's 2 series that I can think of off the top of my head that I do like, and that's the Ascendance series by Jennifer A. Nielsen and the Bright Empires series by Stephen Lawhead. Those are both 5-book series, and I think both of them are perfect as they are. So I don't think you really need to go into like books 6 and 7 and beyond, unless it's a book like, for example, Agatha Christie's like Hercule Poirot or Miss Marple or whatever, where it's technically the same detective the whole way through, but the case is like, it's not really a personal story about him or her. It's about the case. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Okay, we'll move on. Question number 2. How do you feel about cliffhangers? I love cliffhangers when there is more coming. If it's a cliffhanger at the end of a book that does not have a sequel coming, or at the end of a series that is the finale, no, not okay with that. It needs to have some kind of wrap up. But in the midst of a series, cliffhangers, yes, all the way. Hardcover or paperback? I don't really care. They're both good. Both, I don't know, whatever's cheapest. Favorite book? Well, you guys all know I love The Hobbit, so we'll go with that. Least favorite book? Okay, well, I assume they want least favorite book that I've read the whole way through, because then I could just put my whole list of DNFs on there. Least favorite book. I'm gonna have to check Goodreads for a sec here. I'm also going to skip graphic novels and poetry books, because I gave 3 graphic novels 1 star and 2 poetry books 1 star. So we'll skip those. And I haven't given any fiction books 1 star. So that's good. But I did give 2-star ratings. I don't know, I think it's a little harsh to say the worst book or my least favorite book, but I don't know. Robin Hood by Benedict Flynn. I did not know going into reading that book that the tale of Robin Hood has been retold many, many times, and from what I understand there is no original source for that story. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that one just did not measure up to at all what I was thinking it would be. I thought it was extremely boring, and it lacked all kinds of charm and humor. I also did not care for The Man in the Brown Suit by Agatha Christie. Thought that one was boring. I don't know. I have a hard time answering that question, so why don't we just continue on. Love triangles, yes or no? Hard no. No, 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 no. I am a firm believer in like love is a choice and a commitment, and just make a choice. Who do you want? And then stick with that person. Like, none of this flip-flopping business. I don't like it. Anyway, the most recent book you couldn't finish. So my most recent DNF. That would be The Lost Order by Steve Barry. And my reason for DNFing it is not because it was bad at all. Like, I could have pushed through and I may still go back to it, but it was just super political heavy, like and it's not fantasy, so it's like modern day politics, like senators, seats, Congress, you know, all those kinds of things that I don't have any interest in. So, next question. A book you're currently reading. Okay. Which one should I give you guys? I'm reading a few at the moment. We'll go with The Haunting at Bonaventure Circus. This one, I had started it in the beginning of the month and I put it on hold because I was reading it at the same time that I chose to pick up Obsessed by Ted Dekker. And then I found that there were quite a few parallels, and it was, I knew if I continued to read them both at the same time, I would get the stories mixed up. So I decided to put The Haunting at Bonaventure Circus aside so I could finish Obsessed. But I will be picking that back up maybe today. The next question. Last book you recommended to someone. It could have been African Skies to Oceana, I think. When I was up there visiting her, I think I mentioned this one. If not, I can't really remember. I don't think I've recommended any books recently to anybody. My mom is currently reading A Voice in the Wind, which is my recommendation to her, so I don't know. There you go. Next question. The oldest book you've read by publication date? Well, the Bible. But if you want something other than the Bible, let's go ahead and check Goodreads again. Sometimes I don't really know how accurate Goodreads is when using certain functions, but it is telling me, and now of course I don't have any info on it. Goodreads is telling me it is the Screw Tape Letters. Let's see what year. Looks like 1942 was the original publication date. Again, not super sure if that's 100% accurate. The next one is the newest book you've read by publication date. Let's check Goodreads again. Oh, okay. Aftermath by Terry Blackstock. That was published in May of this year. So, I guess it was that one. Favorite author? I don't have one. So, J.R. Tolkien, C.S. Lewis, Morgan L. Busey. There are some that, like, see, Fox is one of my favorite books by Nadine Brandes, but Romanoff, her other book that I tried, wasn't one of my favorites, so I don't know if I would consider her my favorite author, but one of her books is my favorite. I really like this series by Robin Hobb. I don't know. We'll go with those three. Next question. Buying books or borrowing books? And by borrowing, I assume you mean by the library and not like borrowing from a friend. If I can find it at the thrift store, then buying a book. I would rather own it. But if it's between borrowing it from the library and paying full price, I will borrow it from the library. Yeah. And borrowing from friends, I like to do that when it's a strong recommendation from that friend. Like, if they're like, you really should read this book, and I'm like, okay, I'll read that book, you know? Anyway, a book you dislike that everyone else seems to love. The Blue Castle. I don't get it. I don't understand why everyone likes that one so much. I don't know, for any of you guys that watch my channel regularly, can you think of any that I've mentioned that I didn't like that are well loved by most of the people that read them? Let me know in the comments. Next question, bookmarks or dog ears? Definitely bookmarks. I have a whole jar here full of bookmarks, so yeah. I don't like the dog ear thing. Like, I'm not gonna have a heart attack if someone dog ears my book, but Yeah, I just prefer bookmarks. A book you can always reread. Well, I've only reread The Hobbit twice so far. I'm really itching to read it again. So possibly that one. I have already reread The Princess and the Goblin once, so that makes 2 times for that book as well. I'm fine with rereading books. I'd really like to reread Fox. The Princess is probably the book that I have reread the most in my life because it's been my longest sitting favorite, because it's been a favorite of mine since I was a young teenager. I don't know, like I'm totally good with rereading books. I can rewatch movies as long as I like the movie. I can rewatch movies all the time. So that's not an issue for me. Can you read while hearing music? Absolutely not. I can't sleep while hearing music. I can't do anything. I can clean or bake while listening to music, and I can drive. But it's like if I can't follow the words, the lyrics in the song, if my mind has to be focused on something else and I can't listen to the lyrics, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Because like even when I try to sleep with music, I'm just listening to the lyrics. My mind is too active with music. Now, music that without lyrics, I have not tried sleeping with music that, like just instrumental music. That might be interesting to try sometime. And I've also never read with instrumental music, although I had heard that, I think this was on Instagram, I heard this, that reading The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings while listening to the movie soundtrack or score is like the coolest experience, and I totally can see how that would be cool. So I might try that at some point, but no, definitely not. One POV, which is point of view, or multiple POVs. I do prefer one. I have read books, and I can read books with multiple POVs, but I don't prefer it. I like just the one, and just like get to know this one person's point of view. Yeah, I don't know. Question 19. Do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days? Over multiple days, for sure. I am a slow reader. The only way I could do a book in one sitting would be if it was a short book and it was an audiobook. I think I have in the past read, like, I remember one time when I was a teenager, I read a book and I was just in my room the entire day and I was just so engrossed. I don't even remember what the book was, but apparently it was a good one. Yeah, I don't even think I came down for supper or anything that day. Like, I was just so engrossed in this book. But I don't do that now. I don't think I could do that now unless it was really, really short. Which then I feel like most people could do it, right? I don't know. The last question is, who do you tag? I want to tag Lou from Christian Faith and Fiction. I also want to tag Tiffany at Beautiful Minutia. And let's find one more person. And let's tag Lindsay at Lindsay from BFCG. Yeah, let's tag those 3 ladies. I wish I could tag Stephanie at Quilting Beauty and Books, but she doesn't upload anymore. So there's a shout out. She still is on Instagram, so I'll leave her Instagram link down below as well. But anyway, that was a fun tag. Thanks, Oceana, for tagging me. Yeah, I'd really be curious to hear some of your guys' answers in the comments below. And if you do the tag, let me know in the comments below and I will totally come watch it. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.